Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Indeed, the first order of business is to apologize for coming this way behind schedule. We're so sorry about that. There were technical issues that we're still working on as we are speaking. We had wanted to, and we still will be, looking at sort of focusing on Edo and developments there in terms of governance. And the governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has been hard at work, and this administration has been hard at work, and there have been some monumental changes, especially in the area of abandoned projects. It's almost unbelievable when you look at some of the projects that they have sort of decided to take on, talking about schools, talking about hospitals, but in fact, we have a video of that we wanted to speak around, and maybe we can see that. Okay, I think what we see here is one of the things that we wanted to speak about. Our guest is going to be Prince Kasim Afegbua, media consultant and APC chieftain over there. I think this is, we would have spoken about this, but the long and short of it is that, yep, here is a secondary school. It's unbelievable the state in which it was met, and it actually is a functioning school as we are speaking. It's just one of the things that the state government has taken up. In fact, we've jumped forward here to actually work haven't begun. The video actually started with the state of the schools, which is unbelievable to say that these were schools. So we were going to hear about that from our guest, Prince Kasim Afegbua, who will join us as soon as the lines clear, so to speak. Students have been complaining. The principal has complained that it's just unbelievable. I mean, you sit in the class and you look up, and what you're looking at is the sky. This is the after situation. It's like you're seeing this before. I'm sure we would have, if we had come on time and the whole thing hadn't become scatter, you would have seen the beginning where we started from and then up to there. Okay, Prince Kasim Afegbua will be joining us to talk about the developments. There are quite a number of issues. Other issues that we will be also touching upon is that of law and order in Benin, well, in Edo State generally, and the fact that the government is taking a very, very dim view of cultism and kidnapping and that kind of thing. It's been in the news that a number of buildings a building has had to be raised to the ground. It's part of the law. It's actually, this is not anything new. It's in the law there that if anybody is involved in that kind of a thing upon on ascertaining that indeed this is the case, the buildings that were part of any such event, kidnapping or that kind of a thing, will be taken down. Okay, this is the picture. This is the picture I was telling you about before. I believe this is something that it's an institution that they call the Army Day School. Okay, you see how decrepit it is, how dilapidated it is. But as I said, you first of all saw the after situation. We are waiting on Prince Kasim Afegbua, media consultant and APC chieftain, who is standing by. As soon as he's let on, we will be talking about that. But in the meantime, this is him arriving. This is the governor's team arriving to inspect one stage or the other. I think this is here. This is the before stage, and he gave his word that this was just an unbearable sight to him. He's going to be coming back. His people will come back. And part of the video had indicated that indeed, in very, very short order, the governor had caused all of this to happen. And then also the relations between the state government for the development of relations in Edo and also for the development of Edo, how the administration has pursued actively a sort of cooperating with traditional rulers. The governor has said that very little can be done without the buy-in of traditional rulers in the state. And so we saw part of that. But finally, we have Prince Kasim. Once again, apologies for the very late showing on of the program. And indeed, I should have been apologizing to our guest as well, Prince Kasim Afegbua, because we were speaking before the program started, and neither of us would have guessed that there was going to be this delay. So once again, Prince Kasim, apologies for this. It's one of those technical things I hope you can understand. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. I do understand the technical glitches. So
I think we still have the challenge because I can't hear what you're saying.
I can hear you. I can
Excellent.
hear you very clearly.
Okay, I will therefore manage. Well, thank you very much. We had intended to focus on developments in Edo, and actually, in your absence, I had gone a bit and jumped the gun and talking about the administration of Senator Monday Okpebholo's attitude to abandoned projects, as witnessed in some schools that have really been turned so much around that you wouldn't even be able to recognize them. Speak to me about that, please, in the first instance, and then I'd like to go on to security, that is cultism, kidnapping, and the attitude of the administration to those kind of things. We'll take it from there.
Well, thank you, Uncle Yori. The government of Monday Okpebholo, is barely 7 months old, so it can be safe to, state clearly that he has taken off on a very strong footing. He's been able to look at the challenges facing the state, look at the problems, the essential ones, the fundamental ones, and he's been able to, take the bull by the horn in trying to nip them in the bud. Our special mention is the infrastructure you talked about. Quite a number of abandoned projects, quite a number of eye-opening kind of scenario, because what we thought was in existence before the inauguration of Senator Monday Okpebholo, the governor of the state, was that educational infrastructure had been turned around. But on arrival and going around the different local governments, seeing the state of some of the schools, we felt that there was too much of hoopla, some kind of propaganda in the first place, to sell what was not sellable. A lot of the schools exist without chairs. A lot of the schools exist without basic infrastructure, no perimeter fencing, no chairs in the class, no chalkboard or markboard, and quite a number of decay. So what Governor Okpebholo is doing is first and foremost to arrest the drift, get major schools fixed without hesitation, and ensure that students are able to go back to school. I heard you mention the Amide Secondary School and quite a number of other schools. There's another one at Udomi. There are other ones at Edo North, quite across the 3 senatorial districts. The turnaround was, just within three weeks. Easter break, he visited some schools and saw the state of the schools. Before long, he directed the contractors to go there. And before the students resumed after Easter, they saw a brand new school, totally rejuvenated, revamped, and, with all the infrastructure you can think about. Even as far as, giving them borehole so they can have water to use in schools. So I think he's just starting off. It is not yet Uhuru at all. Mm-hmm. He inherited a lot of problems.
Yes.
A lot of socioeconomic challenges, infrastructural decay, but he's not lamenting. Is confronting all the problems with equanimity of purpose. And those state people are grateful. They are very appreciative of the gesture of the governor in rising up to the occasion to do serious infrastructural renewal.
Indeed.
And that's what we're experiencing presently in the state. Yeah.
So this particular example that we're seeing here, the before and the after, and as you have added context that, you know, this was done in a matter of weeks.
3 weeks.
Sorry? You also...
3 weeks.
Yes, in 3 weeks, it got to this stage. I mean, it sort of throws up what was happening before. Why was all of that left as it was before, only for this administration to now come along and fix it? But leaving that to one side, you said it's not yet Uhuru. I imagine that this is an example of some abandoned projects that were met and that have been that situation has been addressed. But I do have the feeling that there are going to be, as you have indicated, quite a number of them. So what the governor might have done is to set the standard that, look, when we come to address the issue, this is the kind of standard that meets with their approval. There are many more such facilities, such structures in need of attention.
He has started. The governor has started. Beyond this one you are seeing, there are quite a number of others. There are quite a number of others he has fixed. And as we speak, a lot of, you know, renovation, revamping, rejuvenation of the school system has started and commenced in earnest. In another 3 to 4 months, you'll be turning out quite a number that he's been able to fix. You know, after Senator Adams Oshomole's government, which was credited with Red Roof Revolution in trying to recover the secondary and the primary schools in the state, the Obaseki administration of 8 years glossed over all of these challenges and was rather doing what he called Edo Best, which was captured in curriculum, in restructuring the curriculum according to him, and brought a company, New Globe, that were running the school system according to him, and being paid 160 million naira every month. And when you ask them what we were doing, you know, they were neither here nor there. During the asset verification exercise, we had opportunity to interact and interface with the New Globe, you know, company, and we were asking questions about how would you be teaching students, or how would you even recommend teaching to take place in a school where there are no chairs, where the roofs are leaking, and they said those are, you know, special cases. They normally lump them in one classroom and they, you know, deliver teaching to them and all that. It's all a matter of, you know, unseriousness on the part of the government and just a very smart way to hoodwink the public. They're thinking that Edo Best, you know, has relaunched the educational sector in the state to something of an Eldorado. But coming to stream now, as a new government, we've discovered that it was all hoopla. You know, sheer propaganda. You need to visit schools in Edo State, go around. You will only be seeing the Red Roof Revolution, you know, renovation and revamp school of Adams Oshomole. In fact, where he left them, that is where the state is taking off now. Because a lot of schools are being left to rot, and students don't have chairs, they don't have learning tools and all of that. And yet you keep singing about Edo Best. What is best about it?
Well,
that is not one. Even the road infrastructure, they are quite decayed. You remember that the previous government, you know, erected signposts all over the state and saying that this is federal road. Please bear with us. We are unable to fix. Even the state road that he ought to have fixed, they were left in decay. And so when we did our asset verification, we visited over 60 projects, 60 sites, road construction. See the poor quality of work that has been done. A lot of work were ongoing, 10% completion, 20% completion. Only a few were 50, 60% completion with very overinflated contract sum. You know, neither pay, but there were a lot of variations.
Where are the Prince?
For God's sake,
1 second, Prince.
Yes,
where are the funds for this coming from? Because I asked that question because any government, any responsible government, the only reason it would leave things in the state that they were seen, would be a helplessness that is based on funds, that there simply are no funds with which to do all that needs to be done. So I was wondering, where has the Okpebholo administration been able to source the funds from?
Well, very quickly, Okuyori, I personally must commend Governor Okpebholo for the initiative he has put in place. Number one, he told Edo people that he will not go into lamentation the way his predecessor did. The subsidy remover at the federal level has also increased allocation to all the states of the federation. For the first time last month, allocation to all the states and federal government rose to about 1.5 trillion.
Okay.
We've never had it so good in terms of resources accruing to the state. What should bother the minds of Nigerians is for them to hold their government accountable and seek explanation on how they are dispensing with the resources at their disposal. Because it is easier and convenient to criticize the federal government of not doing enough. But whereas so much allocation is going to the state that one is expected to see a corresponding development, in tandem with the quantum of allocation they are getting from the federation account. That is on the one hand. So Senator Monday Okpebholo, the governor of the state, said he would rather thank, President Tinubu for increasing the allocation and giving them opportunity to have resources to develop schools, to develop roads, to recruit more teachers, to recruit more employees in the civil service, with a view to ensuring that they are able to dispense with the responsibility of governance, both at the state level and the local government level. So, aside from the federal allocation, in January this year, we inherited 5.5 billion internally generated revenue every month. That was Obaseki's best. But when we came in January, 10.6 billion was realized. In February, 10.2 billion. And, just above 10 billion in the last 4 months. So that's almost like 100% increase.
This is the kind of thing, I beg your pardon, sir. This is the kind of thing that, commentators, have been speaking about, that what is being done with the funds, the extra funds that have been realized as a result of the removal of subsidy in Nigeria. This has led to increased funds that have been spread around to the governors. And commentators, analysts have said that, what are the governors and governments doing with these funds? They're just continuing as it was before. This would appear to be an exception to that general rule.
I can tell you that for free, that Edo State is working, Edo State is on the rise. If I'm not seeing visible signs of development, I just came back from Edo State after 2 weeks, just a day before yesterday, and had the opportunity of going around. If you are not doing well, no matter the fact that I'm a member of the APC, I will criticize. People know me for that. But going around, I see a lot of development, a lot of construction taking place. Sapele Road, Auchi, Benin Road, Ekpoma, Benin Road. All of these that were abandoned before. People were taking Oluku, Ifon, and Edo State before. Now they started plying the road between Benin, Ekpoma, Auchi, to get to other places. So that is because the governor deliberately intervened, and he goes about doing supervision, checking the quality of the roads being done, and ensuring, that those contractors will complete the projects in record time. Don't forget that even Edo first overhead bridge is being built, flyover, so to speak, is being built. He has also awarded the second one last week, Wednesday, on Sapele Road, all the busy junctions in Benin City. He has promised that 3 flyovers will be completed between now and next year. And the quality of those projects is also a matter of concern to him. So that's why oftentimes you see him going to all these places to ensure that everything is in tandem with the, with the requirement of a quality road that will last 20 to 30 years.
Okay.
So
okay.
I personally will commend the governor for this initiative. You don't see him complain too much, no, but you see him always on the field. And if you are not doing well, he fires, or
he will let you know about it.
So he will let yes. If you are not doing well, or you are trying to cut corners, or you are trying to indulge in sharp practices, he will just suspend you. So every of his appointee is aware that the man doesn't talk too much, but he acts very swiftly.
How about markets in the place? I hear that development is also touching some markets that have long been left abandoned.
Yes, the urban market was actually, a very serious eyesore, because they had a case of fire incident that burnt almost 80% of the market. So the market had become a relic of the misadventure of Obaseki administration. The last government promised the market people that it was going to give them 100 million naira to mitigate the impact of their goods that were burnt. He never did that. When election was coming, last year, he quickly told them that he wants to renovate the market. They took the caterpillar there and all of that. Nothing was done. So last week, on inspection, the governor saw the level of decay of that market, which is the major market in Benin City, urban market, and now he has commenced the renovation of that market. It's going to take quite a number of months to be able to fix, but the marketers, the market women, the sellers, the buyers, all of them, they are grateful for the intervention of the governor. And this governor is not one that will promise you and fail you. He's one that will promise and deliver on promise. So once he tells you, I'm coming to fix this, the following day you will see all the contractors and the relevant equipment moving to site to commence, renovation. Not just that market, there are other markets he has promised that he will fix, and we're praying that in record time those markets will be completed for.
But at least the urban market,
this one is
the urban market
IMAC,
work has commenced. Work has commenced on the urban market.
Work has commenced, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Time for our first caller now. Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you very much for calling in, and thank you for holding on. Good morning.
Good morning to Prince Afegwa.
Okay.
Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
Those children from broken homes on social media were saying that Monday Okpebholo does not know how to read and write during the elections. So you can see the one who could speak Queen's English, you could see the kind of schools that he left behind. I'm aware that Comrade Adams Oshiomhole built schools. He called them the Red Roof Schools in virtually every village in that state. It was left for Obaseki to equip the schools and make them to function. He didn't. And you can see what, they say pictures do not lie. You can see the state of some of the schools. So those students who were sitting on the floor to study in a school, I saw the pictures you were showing. I now saw what this new governor that they said he doesn't know how to read and write can do with schools. So which one is more educated now out of those two? So I'm also aware of what he's doing on security. Insecurity in that state has come to a very bad level, very, very bad level. So, and what he's doing now, many governors are afraid to even do it. I understand that it is now death penalty for kidnapping in that state. And if your house is known to be used for kidnappers, he will go there and demolish it. I am told just last week by some of my relations on ground there that the kidnapping thing has already started to diminish because of this, actions of the government.
Zero tolerance attitude.
Yes, for it. This is how I expect it to be in every state. Even there should be a National Assembly Act just like what this governor has done in Edo State, to be done across the country. Enough of insecurity.
And
So
Mr.
I
George,
want to thank-
Mr.
Yes.
George,
Yes.
oftentimes people comment. I think you yourself say, what are the subnationals doing with the extra funds that are coming their way? And that's why I asked
Yes.
Prince Afegbua, and then he made his explanations. I guess we need to see a lot more of this across the country, where you
Yes.
see
Yes,
exactly
Uncle Yori.
what extra funds are being used for.
Yes, Uncle Yori, in fairness to governors, the average governor today is trying to do something. On the average, I would say they are trying to do more than what it used to be in the past because they have seen a president who is not sleeping. And before they know it, they know that they will be questioned. That is why you see many of them are running to this president. If you have a master that is active, you can't afford to be slow or to be inactive. That's what you are seeing. But they can still do more. I've often had this Edo governor saying he wants to use all the money the federal government is giving him to develop Edo State. And he's showing it on the ground.
All
This
right,
is what
then.
we want others to do. But we too should be trying to help the governor to pull them to account. And they will be forced to, to become more active. I want to thank Prince Afegbua because I know he's one of those in the state that ensures that, I don't think he has any executive position as we speak now, but he makes sure everything goes on well in that state, in the interest of the people. That's what leadership is about.
Well,
thank
you very much, Mr. George. Appreciate your calling in. And, Prince Afegbua, I can imagine that with the kind of level of development that we are seeing, attention to ongoing projects and that kind of a thing, surely health is also going to benefit. If the governor thinks that education is important, which of course it is, I'm sure he also holds in the same level of importance health care delivery. Anything to report in that sector?
Yes, there are so many things are being, presently, actions are being presently undertaken, to revamp the health sector. When we came on board under the asset verification exercise, we saw the attempt by the previous government to rebuild the Stella Obasanjo Hospital because he leased out the specialist hospital that was built by Adams Oshomole, for which the state government was still paying money because the consultant couldn't defray the cost of running that specialist hospital. We have done inspection of the Stella Obasanjo Hospital. The contractor is being held about 4.3 billion, according to the books they presented. We are reviewing all of that claims to be sure that it's commensurate with the quality of work and the quantity of work done. There are other, health institutions that were also neglected, which the governor is trying to fix now. He is also trying to promote primary health care. He has appointed, a doctor to come up with, a program of action to put in place primary health care in all the 192, wards in the state to ensure that at least healthcare service, the basic ones, are brought closest to the people at the ward level. The general hospitals, a lot of them are nothing to write home about. As we speak, there are some local governments whose general hospitals have been, have gone into extinction. It's trying to revive all of that now. If you go there, you will know that this is a hospital, or, you won't, even the way, the decay, the rotten infrastructure in those places, you will marvel at them. So it's also doing a lot to revamp all of that. Aside from that, the insecurity in the state, which Mr. George spoke about, kidnapping, cultism and all of that, I think is getting to some minimal level because the law in the state prescribes death penalty if you are found culpable having been prosecuted by the relevant law security agents and the law of the land. A lot of people don't have the courage and the will to introduce death penalty into kidnapping and what have you. But Senator Monday Okpebholo, the governor, has repeatedly said that there will be no basis for people to start kidnapping others for commercial purposes. If you think you are committing such crime and you are caught, you will face the music. And oftentimes, these kidnappers take their victims, they kill them. Even when they have collected ransom, they end up killing some of them. Some, they will insert all kinds of unholy objects into their private parts. At times, they will kill people and divide the bodies into several components and bury them separately in different places. All kinds of heinous crime in that aspect. So the people are very conscientized now. They are mobilized and they are also sensitized about the need for them to collaborate with government. You know, the security apparatus in the state, the police, DSS, civil defense, they are also awake to their responsibility. The governor has set up strike force, you know, against cultism and against kidnapping. This strike force comprises men of the civil defense, police, and army, and he has given them very strong mobility in terms of losses, so that they can continue to comb around the state, while also encouraging local vigilante and Edo State Security Corps to collaborate with these people so that they can help them with information and intelligence gathering.
Okay. May I interrupt here briefly? I beg your pardon, Prince. Let me interrupt here briefly because Mazi Okorafor has been on the line. In fact, he's been waiting for a bit. Apologies, Mazi Okorafor. Good morning to you. Please go ahead right now. I fear we might have lost him. Mazi Okorafor, are you still there? Okay. Well, so sorry, because he did hold on.
So let me continue my.
Yes.
Let me continue. He will come. He will call back, knowing Mazi Okorafor. He will definitely call back. So the state security corps, we disbanded it, and now we are recruiting fresh hands so that we can do thorough investigation about who the character of those who are going to be recruited, where they are from, their homes, addresses, and their traditional rulers will also give them some level of commendation letter, you know, so that
they need to be verified.
Bad eggs into the system. Yeah, verified so that we'll
Mazi Okorafor is back.
Eggs into the system and all that.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning again in the studio.
Yes. Mazi, please go ahead now.
I was first apart.
Go ahead, Mazi.
What I'm trying to find out, what was the job of the past regime? Because if you look at open pages of papers, by the hearing story that between Awusi to Abuja, between Benin to Ibadan, to Lagos, that the way these kidnappers carry passengers full load inside bush, I started saying, what is the problem? What happened to the past government? Honestly speaking, I started, does it mean the past regime they didn't do this or what? And that is why the present government in Edo State to sit down and listen to what people are saying and find solutions, because it's very, very disheartening. Look at the young student that was going back to this, and how he was just carrying inside the bush. For what? Parents pay money because their child came to say, mommy and daddy on his way or her way back. For what? And with the irony of most that it is only the young boys and young girls that they are being used to perpetrate all these things. Are we saying all this kidnapping is purely on political grounds? Are we saying these things that honestly, it's very, very disheartening. Honestly speaking, the present government should do the needful about education. You see, there was so that some of these people that they say the commission, they just do a breakdown of the commission and they punish this outside, inside, nothing, but just this.
All right. Mazi, I'm afraid we've run out of time. I beg your pardon, but thank you very much. Your comments have been noted. Prince, the other thing I wanted to bring about is that the law, I think there are videos online of a house being demolished as a result of its culpability in, these kind of crimes. Now, do the people understand? Because there are all sorts of comments that instead of destroying it, why isn't it confiscated and that kind of a thing? But apparently there's no tolerance for all that kind of an idea. If your house is involved, it's coming down.
Well, let me quickly explain that. You know, when we demolish, or when the governor gives directive for demolition, having carried out thorough investigation and culpability is established, he demolishes, you know, just a small part of the property as an indication that you have lost that particular property.
Okay.
What he's trying to do now is to convert those properties to police station.
Okay, I see.
All the ones, yes, all the ones he's demolishing, he's not demolishing them fully, just a small part of it. Then he will recover them, fix them, and convert them to police station, so that it will become, you know, point of security, security centers, so to speak.
And by law,
the former owner and that particular, yes,
the former owner has no more access.
Yes. No more access. The certificate of occupancy will be revoked,
okay,
and this property becomes that of the state and not individual. And police is part of the state, so they will take, you know, ownership of it and run their business of security provision and all of that from those, you know, kind of property.
How significant, Prince? Sorry to rush you, but sorry to a bit. We've lost so much on in terms of time. But I wanted to ask the buy-in and cooperation of the traditional institutions in Edo State. How helpful has this been, and how significant is it, by the way?
Well, it's very important that traditional rulers are allowed, you know, opportunity to coexist within the government formation. That's why regularly the governor meets with them. Only recently, South traditional rulers visited him, and he raised the point of collaborating with them in their different states or different locations with a view to, you know, addressing issues of insecurity and what have you. And like in the case of Edo, he's having interface with them regularly. He has met them like twice since he came on board. And he kept telling them that, you know, he cannot carry out, you know, security initiatives and all that without the buy-in of the traditional rulers. And they are cooperating. Aside from talking to their own citizens, their people and their subjects, they are also providing information. They can provide information about the character indices of their subjects. They know who they are in their community, and they are also helping government oftentimes in providing this kind of information that will help them in carrying out investigation. You cannot, you know, carry out investigation of a particular community without recourse to the traditional law of that community.
Okay.
Has
the relationship between the institution and government always been this good? Has the relationship always been this good?
No. It has never been this good. In fact, they existed under an atmosphere of fear, because the previous government was always intimidating them that if they don't do this, they don't do that, he will sack them, he will depose them. Oba of Benin, for example, you remember all the altercations and the crisis that was generated as a result of the return of artifacts and what have you. But now, we thank God that Governor Okpebholo has restored the sanctity of that particular palace and of that throne. He has also accorded the Oba of Benin his due respect and recognition as, you know, #1 Oba in Africa, so to speak. And whatever, you know, effort that was being put in previous government to balkanize the Benin Kingdom, this governor has reversed that. The Enojes who are appointees of the Oba now exist as Enojes, and not the previous attempt to make them kings to share the same status with the Oba of Benin. So the Oba of Benin covers the 7 local governments of Edo South, and it is not in doubt that he presides over all the affairs of those 7 local governments. He appoints Enojes, who can be described as dukes, as you have them in the UK, and they don't enjoy the status of kings. But Obaseki was trying to do that, but thank God that he didn't succeed. There's very robust interaction, very robust exchange of ideas, of collaboration, of cooperation amongst the traditional rulers and the government of the day. And this governor is very respectful. He has emotional intelligence, very calm, collected. He's imbued with humility, and he connects with the issue. So he's a homeboy. The people know him. He's very accessible. He doesn't carry power on his shoulders. He's very plain.
Okay,
and
then.
so he's rewriting the narrative of Edo, to assume that prime of place.
Unfortunately,
for the right reasons.
We're going to have to leave it here because there's so I know that there's so much more that you would have briefed us on, or you've been able to comment or report on, but so much time was lost.
For the glitches, we will have been able to cover enough ground. But
yes.
it's okay. But it's okay. It's one of those things.
We must do this again soon.
Just to tell you that Edo is rising and rising for the right reasons.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Prince Kasim Afegbua, media consultant and APC chieftain in Edo State. We really thank you for, one, your patience, and then also for coming on the program in the first instance. So that's where we're going to have to leave it today. Do please join us on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folani. Do have a great weekend. Bye-bye for now.